This year is looking pretty crazy for the Washington Commanders. The NFL team's owner hired a huge bank so that he could explore some sale options for the franchise. The move has business tycoon Jeff Bezos and rapper JayZ interested in the chase. After they were spotted getting dinner together, this only fueled rumors about the sale. Let's examine this and what obstacles Bezos might face purchasing the team. First, let's see what Jeff Bezos and Jay-Z are up to. Both billionaires have expressed their wishes to buy the Washington Commanders recently, and it looks like they're working on something together. The pair were spotted getting dinner together in LA by TMZ. Their meeting was over 2 hours long, so they had much to discuss. Even though we don't have any details of the meeting and what went on inside it, it seems things are pretty intense, with the two of them looking for a joint bid. Something is brewing between the two, and even though we don't know if anything is going to happen for sure yet, it's going to be something big, considering the amount of money both of them have to spend. This meeting wasn't a huge surprise to people, considering that rumors were flying around about the two joining forces to buy the NFL team from owner Daniel Snyder. Now, let's move on to how much the team could cost. If you didn't know or haven't kept up with the news surrounding the Commanders, the owner is in talks with the Bank of America after hiring them for sale. It looks like he wants the best deal possible for his team, and it's only natural. There's a lot of interest from several parties in the team, meaning that Jay-Z and Bezos aren't the only ones who want a stake in its ownership. According to the many reports pouring in daily, Daniel has many options to choose from, and it looks like he's weighing the pros and cons of each. Everyone is bidding a different amount, and apparently there's a lot of competition among the potential buyers of the team, which means that its value has now gone up to $7 billion. The team has a rich history, so it's no surprise that the value is that high. It was founded in 1932 and went through a lot of changes. From being known as the Boston Braves to the Washington Redskins, many changes have occurred. Next, let's look at a little bit of Commanders history. Dan Snyder has been the sole owner of the Commanders since 1999, and that's a long time. Back then, he purchased the whole team for $800 million, and of course, the team's value has only gone up. But when you look at it historically, it's a big number. According to Forbes, the franchise is valued at around $5.6 billion. As we said, when they're selling the team, a lot of parties are competing, so they'll keep bidding more and more. Just as we talked about a few seconds ago, the number might go up to $7 billion. If the team sells for that much, it will break the NFL's high watermark. Last year in the summer, the Denver Broncos were bought by the Walton Penner Group for $4.65 billion. This was the highest anyone has ever paid for an NFL team. So if Jay-Z and Jeff Bezos buy it, they'll also be breaking a league record. You must be wondering why Daniel Snyder is selling. Well, the current owner of the Washington Commanders is facing some serious allegations. Many people working in the organization of the Washington Commanders said that Dan constantly endorsed a very toxic working culture, which was very uncomfortable for everyone. A few of these allegations go back years. One Commanders employee accused Snyder of sexual harassment in 2009, which is insane because how did they let this slide for so long? We all already know the NFL is super laid back and has barely any guidelines for incidents like this. Almost every team manager and owner in the NFL started campaigning for Daniel Snyder to resign at one point, so he's been the subject of a lot of external pressure from them for years. Now he's finally giving into it and resigning as owner by selling the team. The Washington Commanders owner has also been accused of financial impropriety. The businessman has dodged these allegations for years, despite many cases filed against him. It was even proved that he was harassing people who were suing him through private investigators. Coming up, Jeff Bezos and Jay-Z aren't the only interested buyers of the Commanders. Many rich Commanders fans have been eyeing the franchise for buying it or having a stake in the bid. One of these people is the Oscar-winning actor Matthew McConaughey. He's been a longtime fan of the Commanders, watching them since he was a young boy. A source revealed to the Post that his ties with the team go way back. The source also added that the 53-year-old actor is good pals with none other than the current owner Dan Snyder. Apparently, he and his supermodel wife were on Dan's yacht to watch the Super Bowl last year. Another person interested in the sale is the Brooklyn Nets and NBA superstar Kevin Durant. KD has been playing for years and knows his game inside out, but that doesn't mean he's not interested in other sports. He's a huge football fan. The basketball player said he would love to be a part of the bid by giving a little bit of his money to be a part of the Commanders. Of course, Durant said that he doesn't know what will happen for sure, but it's just something he'd like. He commented on the Jay-Z and Bezos rumors and said, "You never know what direction these things could take." Moving on, do these interested buyers have prior experience? By paying $1 billion per season for the exclusive streaming rights to Thursday Night Football, the founder of Amazon has already left his mark on the NFL, so it's fair to say he's familiar with the organization. As for Jay-Z, he's a former minority shareholder in the Brooklyn Nets. The rapper also later formed the sports agency Rock Nation Sports, which now has big stars as their clients like LaMelo Ball, Kevin De Bruyne, and Saquon Barkley. Unfortunately for Bezos and Jay-Z, if they genuinely want to purchase the Commanders, they might run into some problems. An NFL insider stated that the sale to any ownership group that includes Bezos would never happen because Snyder despises the Washington Post. How does this relate to the sale? Bezos owns the paper. Let's get into more about this hurdle that Bezos might face. Now, the Washington Post hasn't held back at all when it comes to reporting Snyder's inappropriate behavior in the workplace. As you can imagine, this does pose a huge problem. Snyder does not like the Washington Post. Even though many papers and news channels have covered Snyder's antics throughout the years, the Washington Post led them. When the NFL didn't hold the team's owner accountable, the paper took things into their own hands. All the investigative journalism means one thing. Daniel Snyder probably has a bit of a grudge against the Washington Post and Jeff Bezos. The hatred for the Amazon founder and Washington Post owner is long-standing. We don't know if this will affect who the team will be sold to. Considering Dan's stubborn nature and sketchy past, it could be assumed that it will be a factor in determining the sale. But if he's getting more money from one of the richest men in the world, would it matter to Daniel Snyder to who the team is being sold? After all, money is the biggest motivator. Maybe not for most people, but the Commanders owner is known for putting it above everything. He's still weighing out his options, and it seems Bezos will give him the most money out of those. We can only wait and see how this pans out. Finally, Bezos' ties to Amazon can cause problems during the sale. As we mentioned earlier, Amazon and the NFL have an agreement that states that during the off-season, Thursday Night Football will be streamed exclusively on Amazon. Amazon will pay the league $13 billion throughout the 11-season deal for the right to stream 15 regular season games and 1 preseason game annually. The obstacle is clear, given that Bezos is the creator, executive chairman, and former president and CEO of Amazon. Given that owners usually don't want to partner with someone who is already close friends with Commissioner Roger Goodell, the fact that Amazon now has a piece of the NFL broadcasting pie is significant. Sports Illustrated's Albert Breer says even though Bezos' links to Amazon could be a roadblock, they're not something that we should worry about as much. This is because Bezos resigned as CEO and became the EC recently. That's a wrap for this video. What do you think of Jeff Bezos and Jay-Z meeting? Is it possible that the Commanders are sold to the Amazon founder? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you at the next one.
There's not much I can say about that right now, but she does like football. Well, I grew up in Houston, Texas, and I played.
But change behavior, one. And then also you have to, you have to acknowledge.
Lifestyle and about my grandfather is he did everything himself. He didn't call a vet if one of the animals was sick.
And can continue to do so. The passion and goal to care for our home must permeate our lives.
Yes, I've heard that buzz.
I do like football. I'm just going to throw that out there for everyone.
Though Bill Callahan was here 5 years, did a great job for us, a great guy.